Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we got another special one. I would consider it special, but here we have the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Gigantic Trackers Suchomimus. So what makes this figure super special is that this is the Suchomimus from the Jurassic World Chaos Theory show, which also states that this is the official canon design of the Suchomimus in the Jurassic franchise. This is something we've been waiting to see since the first Jurassic World, when they realized, or when they kind of told us that Suchomimus is present on the Jurassic World theme park on Isla Nublar. We know it's a dinosaur that existed in the franchise. It just never has gotten an actual canon design, and it's always been like that website design, which does look cool, but I'm glad they didn't choose that design. But yeah, I mean, here we have it. Years later, 2024, Chaos Theory finally gives us an actual physical appearance of the Suchomimus, which now sports an official canon design for this dinosaur in the franchise, and that is really cool. That is very exciting, and yeah, I'm very pleased with it, and it's an awesome design. It got a lot of love in season 2 of Chaos Theory, and I loved every second the Suchomimus was on screen. The dinosaur was just super awesome. I'm glad to finally have this Spinosaur in the franchise now, physically in an actual canon design. So yeah, this figure is just downright awesome. And a little history here: I've had this figure since the second to the last day of 2024. While the other two figures previously reviewed, the Lophostropheus and the Huyangosaurus, I got those on New Year's Eve, the actual last day of 2024. The day before that, I found this Suchomimus at a Walmart. So yeah, I've had it since then, and obviously I've opened it, but I just have it in the package for the purpose of this video, and I love this figure a lot. To have an actual screen-accurate canon Suchomimus is just super awesome, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection. So we're going to go ahead and take the figure out and take a brief look at the packaging. This is my first of the gigantic trackers for the 2025 line, also for the Chaos Theory line for this year, and it looks pretty standard for this current Chaos Theory packaging, with the T-Rex logo, that orange and red colors. The logo right here shows you some action features and the name, and then you got some really cool pictures of the Atrociraptors, Red and Ghost. On both sides, just says Chaos Theory. Here on the back shows you a nice little render of the figure. It says it has an all-around chomp, total thrashing action, control the attack. So this is reminding me very much of those primal attack days from 2020. I love that gimmick so much, where you just move the tail and it kind of makes the dinosaur move around realistic positions or movements. So yeah, I like that a lot. So it's kind of a homage to that. So, and then we got the other figure in this lineup, which I also saw at Walmart too, which is the Styxosaurus. I just chose the Suchomimus first because, well, first of all, it's a Suchomimus. It's the one from the show, hence it's an accurate canon one. So it's like I had to choose that one before this random species, which I do plan on getting because that one's actually pretty sweet looking. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. We'll go ahead and put that away. Now let's take a look at this awesome figure here. And the first thing I want to say is that this figure is actually very light. So I'm sure it's pretty hollow on the inside, but it's a very light figure compared to other figures that we've gotten before. So yeah, very light. I was not expecting that, and it's actually a lot smaller, surprisingly, in person than I thought it was going to be. We'll do some official comparisons later on, but just my overall opinion when I first opened this guy was it was actually smaller than I thought. But yeah, I actually didn't compare it to anything else yet. So even though I've had this for a while now, I haven't done any comparisons. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how big it's going to be compared to other figures. So yeah, but design-wise, it looks just like the Suchomimus from the show. Now, Suchomimus in Chaos Theory had 3 different color palettes. There was the one from Season 1 that was a gray with the dark markings with the red in it. And then there was the one that we were first introduced to in terms of art and all that, which is the orange one with the black markings and the red on the inside, which is probably my favorite color pattern. And then we have this one, this kind of more darker orangish color, with the black markings and all that. So this is the one that actually had a lot more action sequences in season 2. This design, anyways, this color palette this is the one that fought the hippo, and the one that fought the Majungasaurus, and then ultimately died from that one. But so that's cool. That Mattel kind of gave us a figure of the Suchomimus that actually did more in the show. Even though I probably preferred the orange one with the red spots, this one's actually perfectly fine, and I get why they probably did this one. But either way, it's a canon Suchomimus. I'm happy regardless. And the sculpt on this one is super great on this one. It pretty much looks more like a Suchomimus than Mattel's previous Suchomimus releases, which that one was cool, but that one definitely did not, looking back at it, does not look like a Suchomimus. This one does, with the hump on its back and the longer snout. Just this one just screams Suchomimus, and it looks really good. Compared to the, looking back at the head sculpt over here, it looks really great. It looks just like the one from the show, because the snout and the one in the show is very narrow. It's a very narrow looking snout when compared to the thicker snouts like Spino and the Baryonyx. But yeah, this one looks really great. Matches Suchomimus very well. I love the amount of scale detail they have all over the head, and the teeth look awesome as well. On the inside of the mouth, you got the roof of the mouth, which is nicely sculpted. The tongue is nicely sculpted, and it has like this glossy coat to it to kind of give it like that wet saliva look. But yeah, the teeth look awesome. I kind of wish Mattel gave us the two like really skinny long teeth on the bottom jaw that kind of stick out when it closes its mouth. So I kind of wish they did that, but you know, it is what it is. You got the signature little crest on the top right there. So this dinosaur is actually pretty accurate for a Jurassic Park dinosaur. The eye looks really great as well. And we'll just briefly look around the entire body. You got some nice, detail in terms of the sculpt, the folds and the wrinkles in the skin. You got a lot of nice scales like the top of the head here, right here. The lower part of the head's got a lot of nice amount of scales. Moving onto the body, a lot of nice scales, beautifully sculpted all over the body, which my light can capture really nicely. And then it's kind of more faded, a lot more smoother in texture towards the underbelly side, but the scales are still there. You got some more wrinkles in the skin. The arms right here are nicely sculpted. Nice muscle definition poking through the skin right here. You can see some more folds right up there. Hands are nicely sculpted with the ridges and the claws. And here you can see like the sail, the slight little sail that Suchomimus has up here, which is really nicely done. The legs are really nice, very muscular and long too. A lot of nice scale detail. Look at all those scales are nicely sculpted into the figure. The little knee cap right there is sculpted. Muscle definition here on the calf and around the ankle, some here around the thigh. And the feet are really nicely sculpted too with the scales and the ridges, and it's got super long, sharp claws too, much like in the show. Got some more detail on the underside. Got the little T-Rex logo right there. So yeah, the feet are really nicely done. The legs in general are nicely done on this Suchomimus. Then here towards the back, you got some more folds in the skin, some more wrinkles, some more kind of musculature showing through the sculpt on this dinosaur, which is looking really nice. A lot of nice scales going throughout. And actually the tip of the tail right here, which actually does articulate, but I don't really care about these little articulated joints. But this little part of the tail is like a softer rubbery material, which feels really nice with the scales they sculpted. Same with the arms. The arms are more of a rubbery, bendy material, so kind of get a lot of extra movement in those. Yeah, the detail is very nice. Much like the other figures from this 2025 lineup, this dinosaur is completely covered in scars and just battle damage from previous fights, which for this Suchomimus makes sense. I mean, this thing fought a hippo and it fought Majungasaurus, so this is the damage it probably got from it. Here at the head, you can see some scratches around the face. Mattel likes doing that for some reason. You got a lot of bad scratch marks here around the snout, so whatever attacked it was biting it all over the snout. You got some really bad gashes on the lower jaw. which are nicely sculpted. So those are going to be really fun to paint in. And you got some more here on the neck, some here on the arms, some more on the top of the body. You got some spikes here, some scratches that are actually painted. We'll get into that in a little bit. We got some scratch marks there, some up here, here on the leg, see, right here. Even on the foot has been badly damaged. Like, these are some large gashes. Even the claws, the toe claws have damage to them too. And even within the toes and even the underside of the foot. So this thing is completely covered in scratch marks. This thing does not live a very good life at all. You got a huge chunks ripped out of the side right here. Look at that. And you got some, a lot of good cluster of scratch marks here on the tail and some more on the rest of the tail. These ones again are painted here on the other side. Pretty much similar, just some scratches just placed in different areas. Same here on the hand and some bad ones right there. Here on the side, you got a deep gash of just multiple scratch marks on the side. And some more on the foot, across the toes and everything, more on the toe claws. So this thing has brutally been attacked. You got some more here on the chest. So this thing's, look at that. Oh my god, look at that. You got some more large ones right there. I actually didn't even notice those. Look at that. Those ones are bad. But yeah, this thing is just, sculpt-wise, is incredible. I love the way this thing is sculpted. It's awesome. Oh yeah, I can see some more on here on this side of the face. Some more deep gashes here on the side of the face. So yeah, very good. In terms of paint, the paint is really good. Like I said, it matches one of the color designs they have for the Suchomimus. This is the one that, like I said, fought the hippo and the Majungasaurus, which matches the one from the show perfectly. The orangish tone they picked, the lightish yellowish green underbelly is accurate, and then the red eye is accurate with the slit pupil, which is pretty accurate, and the white teeth and the fleshy color inside the mouth is nice. And then obviously the main course in terms of the coloration of this Jurassic Suchomimus is the dark patterns all over the body. So you got some here around the head, kind of goes down the neck, and then some more here across the body and all over the leg, and then it goes down to the tail a little bit. So this thing does feel complete with the amount of paint job that has been applied to this. So, and weirdly enough, some of these scars are actually painted in this white color, which when it's white, it means that these scars have been there for a while and they just healed and just kind of left this, well, this memory embedded into its skin forever. So that's interesting how they painted only like 2 areas of scars and they didn't do anything else. Kind of weird. I probably would have focused on maybe adding some more of these darker patterns all over the body than coloring these scars, because if you're not going to color the rest of them, then why color some at all? But it is what it is. I like the colors are just really great on this one. You got like this light color for the lower jaw too, so I'm not sure if that's just because of the plastic material they used for the jaw, or it's actually supposed to be a different color or the same color as the the top brownish orange color. But yeah, the dark markings are really nicely done. They really remind me that of like a leopard, or even on certain snakes, at least when you look in the design in the show. And Mattel pretty much captured that for the most part on the body. They did it really good on the body and on the legs. Could have been a bit more here on the neck. It's kind of very scarce up there. And then obviously they did a good handful of them on the tail. So it's not covered like in the show, but it does capture the look of this dinosaur in an accurate way. So that's important. And I like how the feet are also a different color. I mean, they're painted in like this dark color that fades up. I like this one right here kind of fades up into these markings, so it kind of flows. This one, however, just like stops, and you got some right there. So this one's a bit more noticeable a little bit, but this one just feels like it's flown into the design, and the design and the patterns are actually really nice. So yeah, Mattel did an excellent job. Here is the scan code for the Sucho. And yeah, so articulation wise, the arms here can pretty much move 360, and they can pivot in and out. The legs here can move back and forth, and they click at different areas for posing. And they do not, oh yeah, they do. they pivot in and out, and the ankles can obviously rotate, obviously. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and the tail obviously rotates, but that's pretty much it for articulation. Everything else is due to the action feature, which is very Primal Attack-like, I would say. You just move the tail. So if you move it, if you twist it from side to side, so twisting it from side to side makes the jaws snap, and then actually moving it up and down, you get some nice snapping motions, which kind of reminds me of these dinosaurs snapping up fish from rivers, which is pretty much what Spinosaurs are known to be doing in a lot of media. But that's really cool. I really like that a lot. It's not identical to some of the Primal Attack features with this little spin action. I mean, I really like the idea of just twisting it and the neck just twisting, not moving the mouth, and maybe moving the head up and down and not moving it and just pushing a button that makes the jaw open and close. I really like that a lot, but this one's actually pretty good too. So yeah, I really do like the action feature of that. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at some comparisons. For a human scale, here is the ACU Soldier, which I think is pretty nice. I'm at an up angle, so it's kind of hard to get an exact good reference of the size, but if any of you guys have this figure, which I think you should, if you check your Walmarts, and I think even Targets now, you can hopefully find yourself a Suchomimus. You can see the size difference yourself. All right, so here we have Mattel's very first Suchomimus from 2018 for the Fallen Kingdom toy line, compared with this newer and improved version of the Chaos Theory Suchomimus. And actually, they're actually roughly the same size. I actually thought they were going to be bigger, but that's because I had this guy in his upward position, so my mind was playing tricks on me, I guess. But they're pretty much roughly the same size. You could say this one's definitely bigger because of the sail or the spines on its back, which does contribute to its height, I guess you could say. But these look really cool together. It's a really cool, just kind of a look back at like what Mattel has, like how Mattel has improved throughout the years. Like this is 2018, and this is, we're just gonna say 2025. So 2018 and 2025, that's a huge difference right there. And I'm glad we have, you know, two different Suchomimuses. I mean, I'm glad we have the better and improved, you know, like movie accurate Suchomimus, and then we have this one right here that Mattel did really good for their first attempt, and it's definitely based off of the website design because of the blue and the yellow colors, but the sail on its back was actually a pretty cool, unique looking feature of it. But I really like just the classic Suchomimus build here, with just no spikes, no quills or anything like that, just a generic Spinosaur, you know, because just by looking at the anatomy of it, you can tell it's a Suchomimus. But taking a look at the head sculpts here, very different, very different. This one's actually pretty wonky looking, actually looking back at it. So it's very interesting, and this one's just totally much better. And the size of the hands are actually much different too. These ones were a lot more bigger. This one's a lot more smaller. The feet are roughly same size. I think the legs are roughly the same size, I believe. The feet, no, the feet on the new one are definitely smaller. So that's very interesting, and the detail is obviously different. And I think in terms of length, they're roughly the same size. But really cool, and this one still works after all this time. This guy's just been chilling on the shelf this whole time, but it's got that really cool snapping action, which I wouldn't mind if this newer one had that, but it's got this cool one instead. So that is really cool to look at over there. And finally, here we have the Chaos Theory Suchomimus compared with the Baryonyx. I just decided to do Mattel's first Baryonyx figure, which is probably my favorite Baryonyx from Mattel at this point in time. I like the Hammond Collection one, but looking at Mattel's latest Hammond Collection figures, they kind of did that Hammond Collection Baryonyx dirty. I mean, that one just doesn't have all the cool amount of updates that these current Hammond Collection figures have. So I think this one's probably my favorite Baryonyx right now, because I think it still holds up to this day, I would say. But yeah, these two look really great together. It's really cool to see the difference in size of the Suchomimus and the Baryonyx, and they look really great together. The color, the way they look together just looks super cool. Obviously with the different head sculpts and all that, the different designs. Um, yeah, but they just look really cool. And here we'll just throw in a little human figure. You can see just how the difference in scale with the Baryonyx and the Suchomimus, and look really good. Now, I would have compared it with the Spinosaurus, but I figured I'll just wait on the Spinosaurus because I don't know if any of you guys heard the news, but we are getting a Hammond Collection Spinosaurus, which is super awesome. And we're getting that one. And it's pretty much going to be the JP3 one because it's way too early to do the one from Rebirth, but that is super exciting, and I can't wait to compare that with these two whenever that review might be. But anyways, off topic here. Yeah, the Baryonyx and the Suchomimus here look really great. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this review, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. For my final thoughts, this Suchomimus is just downright awesome. It is probably the best Suchomimus from Mattel. Not only is it just because it's the canon design of the Suchomimus for the franchise, but I'm glad we have a better toy of it. Much better than the previous ones that Mattel has given us throughout the years, which was only the one from the 2018 Fallen Kingdom line and then the 2019 Dino Rivals line. But this one's definitely the best one of all, and I'm really happy with it, with the detail, the paint job, just the sculpt. Everything about it is just amazing, and this is going to be the Suchomimus that's now going to take this old one's place on the shelf, so the other one's going to be retired, and this one's going to be the main one on the shelf. So, yeah, really happy with this one. I highly recommend getting this one, guys. I really do. I don't know when I'm going to get the Stixosaurus, but there's other figures out there from the Hammond collection that I want to get my hands on right now. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for this video, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.